we are live as we react instantly to the Browns selection of Spencer Fano. Welcome into the reels. You're new here. Please like, subscribe, and share. Breaking news: the Browns have selected Spencer Fano with the 9th overall pick.
Yeah, baby.
Mike, we had a trade. What to break it down? What we had here tonight?
Yeah, the Chiefs traded up to pick 6 to pick corner Munster Delane, and we received picks 9, 74, and 148. So we received their third-round pick as well as their fifth-round selection, which is more adaptability to trade if we want to, or if another fifth-round pick. Obviously, Browns heavily invested in the trenches. Maybe that gets us.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer Fano likes about the player. I mean, he's probably the most versatile lineman. I think really everywhere. At the combine, they had him at center, tackle, he can play guard. He can do a little bit of everything. He's an athletic freak. Ran a 4.9 at the combine. Big boy, 6'6". He's got the arm length. He's got the pop. He can move.
Yeah, 4.9's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a real deal. I think. What do you think of the projection? Do you think they got him at tackle?
I think they have him at tackle. Maybe long term they can move him to guard if they, don't feel like Elton Jenkins is a long term solution there, because I think they would put Elton Jenkins at guard. But right now, I mean, Titus Howard's the right tackle, Zion Johnson's the left guard. Elton Jenkins can either play center or right guard, so depending on where they decide to put him. But I think right now Spencer Fano is our left tackle. I really do think that's what they're going to make him to be. He's mobile enough to do it. He's athletic enough to do it. He's super versatile. He's arms quick. I think he's our left tackle as of now.
Yeah, I think he's going to left tackle too right now. Unless they move up and get Monroe Freeman like that, I think he's left tackle. I think the trade down from 6 to 9, though, obviously got Caleb Downs sitting there, Mike, and a lot of us here will maybe Caleb Downs. I wouldn't mind Caleb Downs, but I get what they're thinking. Maybe they said, hey, let's get the best tackle and bring it down. And then, what do you think overall the trades? Again, they got 74, 148, and then you get Spencer Fano.
Yeah, it sounds like they got they got the overall best true tackle prospect at the draft. I know Francis Malinois is right there with him. Now, Francis Malinois projected to be more of a guard. I think they got the best tackle prospect in the draft, only traded down 3 spots, and we got an additional pick in the top 100, and then also acquired another 5th, which, might be a good role player or trade bait for later. I think overall that was a pretty good value for moving down only 3 spots.
Yeah,
and getting the guy you want.
Yeah, and I know there was a bunch of rumors yesterday, Mike, and I texted you. It seemed like Spencer Fano was the pick all along that they liked.
Yeah.
All the mocks yesterday had Spencer Fano. And a lot of the grades right now, we're looking right at it. CBS Sports A+ for the pick. We'll put some of his film up here too. You guys can give it a little clips up for you if you haven't seen them already. But interesting. I mean, they go interior. So I think it was very said all along they were going to go trenches game. I think Monk can kind of tip the hat a little bit this week. Yeah, he's having that situation. So it seems like they got the guy they wanted all along.
Yeah, and the whole O-line needed rebuilt, and for all intents and purposes, obviously, we still got to play football, but I liked all of their moves in free agency. They added some great players, signed them to long-term deals. Titus Howard's an excellent right tackle. Zion Johnson has a lot of oh my God, the Dolphins just took Caden Proctor 12. My God.
What's been your biggest surprise all night? I mean, we've had a lot of shocker picks so far.
Honestly,
as they get these highlights up, what's been your biggest surprise?
Honestly, I think the trade with the Chiefs in general, and I don't mean the Browns trading down because I did expect them to do something like that. I think the fact that the Browns traded down, but the Chiefs still got a player I think they could have taken. I don't think there was anybody about to take Munster Delane.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. I think you could have got him at 9. I mean, I saw him mock at 9 and all.
Yeah, I don't feel like any of the other teams were itching to pick. And Munster Delane's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I do think he's one of the best players in the draft, but I don't see why they traded up and lost a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick out of it, even though they got a player that I think they could have gotten all.
Yeah. Looking at here at Spencer Fano, like the highlights, and then you can see the dominance right there. I think he does a really good job of stealing the blocks a lot of times in the run game. You see right here, really good leverage, stealing the block there in the run game, getting zone, especially wide scheme. about his own scheme. Getting a second level right here. And in pass pro, like, he's pretty solid. I mean, he gets to point A to point B where he wants to go when he's pulling. And then the pass pro, I mean, he's very good with his hands, very good at getting back to his landmark and setting his feet. I think it's a very good thing. Like, he gives him a physical edge that didn't have it.
Yeah, I agree. And doing and for anybody who's like, well, the Browns should pick wide receiver, the Browns should pick defense. I want the trenches because left tackle in general, is the most important position outside of quarterback on the offense. If your trenches aren't good, your quarterback's not good. Quarterback's not going to be good. Nobody's going to catch the ball. You're not going to be able to run the ball. It starts in the trenches, and I'm glad the Browns have aggressive with free agency, and now through the 9th overall pick. I think this is great.
And the Browns don't give you a whole lot leading up to the draft, but Andrew Berry did kind of say that they have a fetish basically for offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And we heard a lot what Todd Muggins said the other day at the practice, at the voluntary workout. We saw the mocks yesterday. So everything was right in queue. Now, looking ahead, Mike, I mean, obviously, we got to continue some of these highlights here for Spencer Fano. We take a look at this one right here. Again, just dominant guy up front, good job of turning his body. He's really good in the run game. That's the one thing that stood out about me with him the most. His run game blocking. And very versatile. He's solid over. Like I said, there, pass pro, he's very good. And I've seen him, Mike, double against stunts and really just take out stunts in many plays when you watch the highlights. So, again, I think they get a guy they didn't have last year because last year the guys on the line were not going to be stunts at all. Yeah. So, again, so what would you rate this pick?
Okay.
What about the trade?
A+.
I'd probably give it an A as well. Initially I wanted to.
I wouldn't have been bad with him.
I get the pick. I think he's the most. I think he's like the Cardinal Tatum of offensive line. He's solid. Like, there's no way this kid I think is going to be.
I don't
Jordan
think he'll be bad.
Ain't gonna be bad.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be bad. I think he's going to be a starter here for a very, 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 very long time, no matter where they decide to put him at guard or tackle. And I think he's by and far the easiest day one starter on the offensive line. I love the pick for the Browns. I'm really happy. We win trenches.
So we got the Los Angeles Rams up here, Mike. I'm not sure. They could take Makai Lemon. They've been high on him. Again, we got the big board right here, Mike.
What they pick Tyson?
That could happen. We're going to take a look at the big board right here. So, Mike, we'll go down this board real quick.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll be back here in a little bit. We'll rack the pick 24. Yeah, obviously, for Mendo's going to pick one. No surprise there. David Bailey, too, Mike. I know that was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love, 3 to the Cardinals. What do you think of that?
That was expected. I mean, best running back in the draft. Super talented dude. I think Jeremiah Love is going to be a long-time starter. I think he's going to give the juice to the Cardinals offense that they need, especially with uncertain quarterback future. Yeah. And Jacoby Brissett's their starting. I love Jacoby. Don't get me wrong. He did great things for the Browns when he was here. So no hate towards Jacoby Brissett, but obviously if you're not going to have true franchise quarterback, the least you can have is a franchise quarterback to spark.
And then the big surprise, Mike, Cardinal Tatum, 4 to the Titans. I don't think anybody had that.
It's a little shocking. Yeah, I think he's the most sure, solid wide receiver. I think Jordan Tyson's but I get that concerns. He's an easy day one starter, easy wide receiver for Kane Ward. We got a young, great quarterback in Tennessee, so I want to get him.
Argo Reese to the Giants, no surprise there. Obviously, we talked about the Delane pick there, what we thought of that. Sonny Styles, that's no brainer there. Jordan Tyson, I think that was good for them. Obviously, the injury concern, but I think he's got a big high reward.
Yeah, high reward, and you also can continue to get your young quarterback weapons. He had his name escapes there, but he had a great year last year, his rookie year. It was a second-round selection, just getting more weapons for the young man.
Yeah, and I think for them, Malik Neighbors.
No, I'm talking. I thought you were talking about Jordan Tyson, the Saints.
Oh, you're right.
I'm talking about the quarterback.
Sorry, I'm staring at the Giants logo, people. I got a little confused, and I'm looking at the TV at the same time.
Yeah, we're multitasking.
But yeah, I know you're talking about. What do you think the Browns' thought process was about Fano or Moyaga or Maui Noah? Do you think at the end it just came down to the injury concern?
Injury concerns, and then Maui Noah, I really think is going to be a guard. I really think, Spencer Fano could be either. But I think Maui Noah is a guard through and through, just because of his arm size. And he's going to be an excellent guard, don't get me wrong. But the Browns signing 2 guards and the fact that this is a pretty good draft for guards and centers. I think that if they want another one, they can get one later.
Yeah.
You get the best tackle in the draft.
And then Caleb Downs, no surprise there to Dallas. That's a great pick for them. A+ for them. And then Caden Proctor, Miami. What do you think of that? Miami traded down, right?
Yeah.
They stayed at 12.
They traded down to 12 and then picked Caden Proctor. They sure did. I think that's a good. If I'm being honest.
I mean, Caden Proctor.
I think he's good.
Very talented, but man, he needs a lot of work. He gets beat a lot.
I think Nick Saban's comments were a little glaring about him.
That was really concerning.
So I don't know if I would pick Caden Proctor at 12, but we picked Fano. Maui Noah went. Maybe Miami got a little shaken in their boots about getting a tackle, so they just went for a guy who thinks they can be a starter. But I don't know, man. I don't love that pick for them. Sorry, Miami fans.
As I get some news here on what the Rams are going to be doing. Mike, what do you think? So we got pick 24. Do you think they move up in the draft or they move back down?
Pick 24, I think they stay where they're at, or they assess the board, see who's falling. If there's a guy they really like that's falling, I would anticipate them trading back up. Because once you get later and later into the draft,
I'm not going to give the pick away. We'll watch it right here, but I think this is going to be a big shocker pick right here for people. And this could actually make this could make the Browns move up maybe, and we'll get to that in a minute. Here come the Rams, and here goes Mr. Goodell. He's going to come out here and announce the Rams pick here with the 13th pick. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share, Mike.
Yes, please.
Ty Simpson to the Los Angeles Rams.
Simpson.
So, Mike, that leaves Mekhi Lemon, the best. I still think the top receiver on the board.
Yeah,
he's still there, Mike. Do the Browns get aggressive here and try to move up to get Ty Simpson?
Well, they'd have to
or
move
not Ty
up.
Simpson, Mekhi Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon, yeah. If we move up, we'd have to move up to pick 14 because we certainly aren't trading within division. I'm sorry, pick 15.
And any of these teams here, Mike, do they can take Mekhi Lemon? Yeah,
New York.
Okay, so New York at 16.
Yeah.
Do they call the Bucs right now and try to move up to get Mekhi Lemon?
Maybe. I certainly would try.
Or do you think Denzel Boston at 24, a guy who a lot of people think has been projecting the Browns?
Yeah, I like Denzel Boston a lot. I think Denzel Boston or even Chris Bell would be a fine pick at 24.
Yeah.
Baltimore could go receiver here.
Baltimore could go receiver.
They also could go defensive end because they failed to properly pick a defensive end for the past 10 years.
Well, Ty Simpson's walking across the stage, Mike, so he's off the board. No more. I think the top two quarterbacks are off the board. Prediction, Mike, for the rest of the night. We'll absolutely react to pick 24 here, probably in about a half hour. Who do you think they get? Halsby, you get the bet. Looking at the board right now, again, look at this draft board. I'll put up who's best available.
We got our tackle. We don't need no tackle.
So you think they go receiver next, like they thought?
Yeah.
Because all the reports have been
tackle or receiver.
So they went tackle first, like everybody thought. Obviously, Mekhi Lemon's right there. I don't think he'll be there at pick 24.
I don't think so.
If he does, I'll run the card up there myself. But Denzel Boston ranked number one. You think they go Denzel Boston probably? Who's an excellent prospect.
I think Denzel Boston's awesome. I mean, great body control, huge dude. I think he would be instantaneously slot in that position, given Shedeur Sanders, which it seems like he's taking all the first 2 reps. Another weapon, 6'4", 212. That's a big bull in them rounds.
And he can run. He's very fluid. 11 touchdowns last year. I think almost 1,000 yards, 60-something receptions. He's a dog. You see the comp right there, Cortland Sutton.
I love Cortland Sutton. Give me Cortland Sutton.
We predicted Denzel Boston at 24 if they stay there. They could move up to get McConnell, but I think they go receiver next. So make sure you check back with us here after the pick. We will react to the Browns' next selection here at 24, and we'll see what happens the rest of the draft. So stay tuned. And we're out of here. We'll see you guys in the next one.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah.